If you are standing in the line to vote, and if I give you water or food, then I can be charged with a misdemeanor. It does not matter how long the lines are, it does not matter how many hours you have been standing there, it does not matter who I am, but I cannot give you water or food. And this is how Georgia GOP believes they can make the election secure in their state. Not just that, that is just one part of the new set of laws that reached the governor's desk in Georgia and it was signed off yesterday. The state will set up a fraud hotline. It forbids local county election officials from taking a break while counting ballots, reduces runoff election cycles from 9 weeks to 4 weeks, allows the state election board to replace local county election boards to accept challenges to voting eligibility. I do not have to tell you which counties the state election board will be taking an extremely close look after the voting is done. You all know that, don't you? If I am the party in power and my people are running in the election and votes are getting counted, which counties will I be more interested to see if there are challenges to voting eligibility? Not really rocket science, is it? The law requires a photo ID to vote absentee by mail. It also reduced the time people have to request absentee ballots and added limits to where drop boxes can be placed and when they can be accessed. The uproar against the move to curtail Sunday voting has paid off because those items were excluded from the bill. So there will be Saturday and Sunday voting in Georgia, but don't be surprised if Georgia GOP takes that step as we get closer to the election. Anything is possible. But for now, the pushback has worked, and if they take that position again, let's hope another pushback will be delivered with even more vigor. As soon as Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed the bill into law, it was challenged by activists in federal court in Atlanta. One of the main reasons why so many of the Republican court challenges failed post the 2020 presidential election was the courts repeatedly asking them, why did you wait for the elections to be over to do this or to challenge this? Now that they have moved in early to make those changes, they are sure to get a sympathetic ear from the courts. This does not mean that the courts will grant all their wishes. It just means that the arguments are certain to be heard, which is kind of good news for both parties. Let us see how far the activists can push back. It will be a long road ahead of them. Now, here is the problem I see with what is happening. Nearly 1.3 million mail-in ballots were cast in Georgia during the presidential election. It was majority Democratic votes, but still, hundreds and thousands of Republican voters also voted using that option because it was simple, easy, and a great tool for older voters. And a lot of these votes came in because of the pandemic as people wanted to avoid standing in lines in crowded places. Once the pandemic fades into our memory, many will choose to vote in person and early. Vote by mail could be the future, but in the near term, the numbers are going to drop on their own with early in person voting compensating for that drop. That was the natural course of trajectory. Drop in vote by mail and a surge early in person voting. But in their panic, the Georgia GOP has already made its move, and some of these changes are going to affect Republican voters as well. But the optics of what they have done is going to energize the opposite side much more than it does to their side. The more these actions get scrutinized, the more we all keep talking about it, the awareness level goes higher. When you keep doing things that keeps telling people how important their vote is, then they do hear it loud and clear. When you attach so much importance, they are going to say, thank you for letting us know. It's clear that we are moving backward instead of forwards, but there is certainly no need to despair. In one way, let us all thank the GOP in Georgia for moving in so early and getting this done and letting the entire country know what they are trying to do here. The counter mobilization efforts must gear up. If they want a photo ID, then it's great. Let us get every eligible Georgian one. Since more than 1 million people voted by mail during the last election cycle, both Republican voters and Democratic voters, people have to do everything they can to help them if they want to vote by mail. Awareness campaigns, ads to help them understand the requirements, billboards telling them the dates and timeline, and everything that needs to be done to help people to vote must be done. People who stand for democracy should do whatever they can to make sure that as many people who are eligible to vote votes. With the possibility of two well known across the country black candidates on the ballot in 2022, Stacey Abrams and Raphael Warnock, is the Georgia GOP sure that they have not already triggered a tsunami of voters to the polling booths? I think they may have done that. And they may have done that not only for Georgia but for the entire country. If this comes true, then remember who you need to thank: Brian Kemp. He kind of looks like a gift that will keep on giving. Thanks for watching. If you like it, please do subscribe.